the whole algorithmic ecosystem it lives in, because this ecosystem, it reveals a drastic, totally fascinating shift in how retail investing is being pitched to everyday people like you and me. So here's our roadmap for today. First, silver, the new gold. Second, understanding the ETS strategy. And third, the 2026 financial crisis. Breaking it down like this helps us figure out exactly what financial influencers are telling us to buy, the mechanics of how to buy it, and the terrifying macroeconomic fears driving these exact trends. Now, before we even look at the financial advice itself, we really have to look at the messenger. And his channel description perfectly captures why this messaging works so incredibly well. It says, just like any middle-class guy, he too had a bunch of unclear dreams and a blurred vision of his goals in life. All he had was an undying learning attitude. You see what's happening there? It highlights how his totally relatable middle-class background builds this immense trust with a massive audience right as he pivots into offering serious financial guidance. All right, let's jump into section 1, silver, the new gold, and a major shift in investing. We're going to explore this massive trend pushing retail investors to rethink their oldest, most trusted financial safety net. So, we really have to ask the big question right up front. Is gold actually losing its shine? I mean, for generations, gold has been the ultimate fallback, right? But looking at the source material, there's a sudden, super aggressive shift in market sentiment that's absolutely dominating feeds everywhere right now. The broader ecosystem is showing some really aggressive skepticism towards gold. Just looking impartially at the recommended content around Sandeep's piece, you've got Nears Aurora declaring gold crashed, Q5 highlighting the Prime Minister asking why buy gold, and Mohit Gang flat out stating gold is lying to you. So whether it's questioning traditional buying habits or signaling a full-on market crash, the algorithm is heavily feeding viewers a whole lot of doubt around gold. And the contrast the algorithm is pushing is just stark. On one side, traditional gold is being framed as losing its appeal, totally plagued by narratives of a crash. But on the other side, we have the silver rush. Influencers are literally branding silver as the new gold. You've got figures like Robert Kiyosaki popping up in the recommended feed talking about a historic bull market, and other creators warning that this is your absolute last chance to buy. The algorithm is definitely trying to swap out the traditional safety of gold for this highly urgent, hype-driven narrative all about silver. Which brings us to a crucial point. It's not just what to buy, but exactly how to buy it. Let's move into section 2, understanding the ETF strategy and the world of digital investment. Now, for the uninitiated, an exchange-traded fund, or ETF, is basically just an investment fund that's traded on stock exchanges. In Sandeep's Viral Explainer, he specifically advocates for silver and gold ETFs. The pitch here is that this is the absolute optimal way to invest in these metals without actually having to go out, buy heavy physical bars or coins, and stick them in a safe somewhere. It's digital, it's super accessible, and right now, it is being heavily promoted. And man, the promotion gets really competitive. For years, traditional systematic investment plans, or SIPs, were pretty much the holy grail of everyday investing advice. But creators are now directly pitting those traditional SIPs right against ETFs. In the source material, a piece by creator Sagar Sinha aggressively frames the ETF as the father of SIP, claiming it leads to significantly higher earnings. Basically, the old standard is getting pushed completely aside for this shiny new strategy. But to make this big shift a little easier to swallow, this somewhat complex ETF strategy is being smartly packaged right alongside comforting traditional advice. The recommended feed actually tosses in pieces on the Warren Buffett 15% rule, basically telling the viewer to just relax and let the framework work for them. It's a brilliantly calculated way to reassure middle-class investors, you know? They're pairing a new, aggressive digital strategy with the trusted, grandfatherly comfort of Warren Buffett. But wait, that brings up a massive contradiction. If everything is so relaxed and systematic, why are so many of these exact same creators predicting a massive, catastrophic crash? Let's use that question to pivot from these specific ETF strategies straight into the underlying macroeconomic panic that's driving all these recommendations. So let's dive into our final section, section 3, the 2026 financial crisis and macroeconomic panic. We're zooming way out here to look at the absolutely terrifying macroeconomic predictions filling up this exact same algorithmic space. There is just a sheer, overwhelming volume of impending doom being served to viewers right now. Just reporting impartially on the widespread consensus out there, Sandeep Maheshwari has a piece titled The Great Depression of 2026. Rise with Adil Aziz discusses a financial crisis 2026. Think School even points to a dirty AI lie that's supposedly breaking in June 2026. So the algorithm isn't just gently suggesting you buy silver, it's practically screaming that you need to buy silver because a historically massive depression is right around the corner. When you actually piece all these disparate sources together, it reveals a highly specific projected timeline. Today, you have this urgent shift to silver ETFs. Then, according to this ecosystem, June 2026 hits and that AI lie starts to crack. By late 2026, this predicted Great Depression fully takes hold. And finally, looking at a piece by Good to Great, there's this long-term prediction that gold will eventually rebound and potentially cross 3 lakhs by 2030. It's wild. It's like a complete start-to-finish cinematic universe of financial panic and supposed salvation.
Which really leaves us with one final, absolutely crucial thought. Are we preparing for an inevitable financial collapse, or are we simply buying into the algorithm's newest gold rush? You know, when financial advice is tied directly to millions of views and algorithm dominance, we have to critically evaluate the